let's talk about the symptoms that many people with Sjogren's experience, but that are not very well known. Okay, we have brain fog. Well, what does that mean? It means that we have trouble putting our thoughts together quickly and sharply like we used to. It's like a very dull kind of thinking. I mean, it takes longer, like, for the neural pathways to reach the tissue in our brain that it needs to trigger to help us comprehend well. We have difficulty with word finding. We know what we're talking about, but we can't figure out the name for it. For example, there's a lot of trees here. I know what that is, but when I'm communicating, if I forget that it's called a tree and I just can't grasp that, I point. It's that thing that I'm talking about. And so most people are generally, okay, I get it. But it's very frustrating. When we speak to people that way, they tend to lose regard for our capability. And we're very smart. You know, say you've gone through college and did well. Maybe at work you serve, you know, an important role. All work roles are important. But I mean, I guess a role that didn't come to you easily and that you had to prove yourself for. And then suddenly we can't communicate. And it just kind of goes, maybe we're at our baseline and boom, we can't communicate. And people are like, what is she on today? Does she have a hangover? Why can't you think straight? And then we go, boom, back to normal, you know. And sometimes it's made worse by poor sleep, which leads into another symptom. Just as a side note about Sjogren's insomnia, there has been some research, but it was done regarding melatonin and the effect that melatonin plays in Sjogren's. I think it had to do with our ability for our own body to manufacture the melatonin and to manufacture it at the right time. That symptom started way long ago. So I have the insomnia. Another symptom that those with Sjogren's experience is neuropathy. But for me, really what it means is that I get tingling in my feet, like needle pricking, but it's not 24/7. It's a lot of times, it's after I've been on my feet for quite a long time. If I'm doing well and say I'm in the garden and then suddenly I come in and sit down to rest, my feet will feel that way. And if I stomp it out and rub it out, it tends to feel better. And then it happens when I lay down to go to sleep at night. And it's that stabbing, the tingling, and like a million ants are biting. And it's very irritative. It's uncomfortable. And when we think of people having that kind of neuropathy, we think of someone who has diabetes. Well, I don't have diabetes, but I have that issue. All right, and then there's a few other symptoms that I may be leaving out. Because we're dry, we have nasal dryness, inner ear issues, and I'm not quite sure what causes that, but I have tinnitus 24/7. Sometimes it's loud, sometimes it's not. And I think that it's related to shrinking glands. So our salivary glands have shrunk because there's tissue death in there. The glands in there are damaged. So it's not just our salivary glands, we have glands in here that get damaged as well and that experience inflammation. I've had infections through here that were thought to be ear infections, and really they were glands in there that were swollen. Underneath my tongue, I had an enormous protrusion, which was a blockage of some type. I'm convinced that was related to Sjogren's, even though I was much, much younger and not diagnosed at the time. Other neurological, well, I think neurological symptoms I've experienced is tingling in my cheek here sometimes. Eyes that twitch for no reason, kind of uncontrollably. Just weird. That stuff comes and goes. It doesn't happen a lot, but it comes and goes. Then I also experienced something kind of strange that I've only heard about a little bit from other people having, and that is these weird vibrations that happen. It can happen in my leg or my gut somewhere or in my arm, and it doesn't hurt. It's not painful, it's not disruptive, it's just I'm aware of it. And I just think it's weird. Why is that happening? That's weird.